Hey everybody, welcome to another Friday, another Apologetics Friday, and I'm so excited to be with you all again. And we're just going to hop into it. This week's topic is, can you prove God's existence without using the Bible? Which I was very excited. And I mean, it's something that I had never really looked into before, so that was awesome. So I'm learning along with you guys on this one and a lot of them. But I think it's especially important to look into it, especially if you're going to have a conversation with somebody who doesn't believe that the Bible is true or credible, and we can do that in another video if you want. But it's an awesome just thing to look into and to know if you're going to have that conversation, or if anybody is curious and they're watching this right now, you can learn. So let's learn together, and we're just going to hop right into it. First thing I want to talk about is the beginning of the universe. Now, most people, including some of the most famous and smartest and well-known scientists and atheists, including, of course, theologians also, believe that there is a beginning to the universe, whether that is through the Big Bang or through some sort of like cosmic explosion, or whether it was created by someone or something. And now we see that whatever created the universe must be spaceless, timeless, immaterial. And I say those three because whatever created these things must be outside of it already. It doesn't just spur from something else. Whatever created it has to be outside of space, outside of time, outside of matter itself in order to come above it and create it. So we also see that whatever or whoever created the universe is powerful, because our universe is big and vast and ever expanding, and that's a lot. Something and someone super powerful has to have had that power to be able to create it and make it the way that it is. And we also see that whoever or whatever created it is personal. And I say personal because whoever created the universe had to choose to make create the universe the way that it is. Because like gravity doesn't choose to pull things down, it just does. So whatever is outside of that, whatever created that, had to choose to make that and make it run the way that it does. And to care and to create our life in the way that we live, in the way that we have what we need accessible to us. And then again, intelligent. And we also see this because one, there's the powerful, there's the big, there's the vast, or the ever-expanding universe and just everything that's out there, but also intelligent because the way that we live, the way that things work together in our worlds and in the entire universe itself, with all the planets and the suns and the galaxies and the stars, has to work together a certain way, and it's very complex. So therefore, whatever or whoever created the universe had to be intelligent. And way more intelligent than we are, because we're still discovering and learning all these things. And so one example that I wanted to use to kind of illustrate this is, I have this bed back here. So the bed frame, whenever I first got it, I had to put it together. I had to take the screws and take the little bars that went together, and I had to read the instructions and put each thing specifically in its place. I didn't just shake the box and the bed frame came out like it was supposed to be. Everything had a certain position that it had to be in. Everything had a specific way that it was supposed to go. And me just shaking that box and having this sort of and them hitting each other didn't somehow create the bed frame to where it came out of the box already done and I didn't have to do anything. So we see that whoever or whatever created the universe had to intentionally make it the way that it is. Now, I want to move on from this and talk about the fine-tuning of the universe, because we're kind of going with this universe argument, the beginning of it, and then kind of how it became to be and how it is now. And basically, the fine-tuning of the universe just means that any small changes to the constants of nature would have resulted in a universe incapable of supporting life, or just a universe that didn't exist at all. And that's a little wordy, so let me explain. So basically what it's saying is that if there was any small thing that changed, even if it was imperceptible to us, it would result in us not existing, or the world not being able to function or support life. And a couple of specific examples of this is, one common one is the distance to the sun. So our planet Earth is not so close to the sun that we burn up, and it's not so far away from the sun that we freeze. And the earth is just perfectly in its place. It doesn't float either way. It doesn't sway either way. It just stays where it's at to where it can support life for us. And then also from that we see, Jupiter. And I hadn't heard about this one until I looked it up. So this one's pretty cool. So Jupiter is, again, way bigger than the earth. We know that from just science. And so the way that it was explained in the video was that Jupiter has this gravitational pull, and so Jupiter like makes sure that we don't like go towards the sun and burn up, but also not too much of a gravitational pull to where we're pulled away from the sun and we freeze. And then again, also Jupiter is able to kind of pull in those like asteroids and meteors and things so that they don't hit us and therefore destroy our planet as it is, which is really cool. And so we see that fine-tuning, it was specifically placed where it is with its exact gravitational pull so that it doesn't hit us, we don't hit it, we don't hit anything else. And one last example that I found in here is our placement of our solar system inside the universe. So we have, or our galaxy. So we have the Milky Way galaxy, and it has those spiral arms. If you look at a picture of it, it's just like this white, and then it just kind of like spins and it spirals. And the way that this was also explained in the video was that our solar system is not placed on one of those white spiral arms. We're not within that. We are within like one of the darker parts. We are between those arms, because if we were within the spiral arms, we would get hit by stuff. We would be too close to certain things to where life couldn't be sustained. And again, just like to sum up this whole point, our Earth, our planet, our solar system is specifically placed where it is so that life can be sustained. And if a fraction of it is different, we would cease to exist. And it continues like that, and it has been like that from the beginning of creation, which is like you take a step back and you're like, oh, that's awesome. Because to me, that's just, I don't know, we're just so small and insignificant, and there's so many other things around us. But whenever you realize how much really goes into play and how much like the things around us have to work the way that they do in order for us to still exist, it's like, it's harder to believe that there isn't a God that there is, in my opinion. So from that, keep coughing, goodness. Point 3, the moral argument. And from this, we see that, okay, we know, like as humans, we say that murder is wrong. We say that stealing is wrong. We say that cheating is wrong, whether that's in a relationship, whether that's like on some sort of like test or something bigger than that. And we all agree on that, and we punish those who do those things, either by the law or by like jail or anything like that. And so if we did not have a God who sets the standard for us, someone who is outside of our like time, space, everything, who set that standard for us, who is morally perfect, then we wouldn't have a basis for what is right and wrong. Therefore, everything that I just named would be okay. But therefore, like we say that those things are wrong because we have that moral standard. And I don't know what's up with me today, guys. It's fine though. And just from that, I mean, that's basically just that point, is that if we didn't have a God who set the moral basis for us, anything goes. Anything is okay. But obviously, not everything is okay. But how we handle things. And I wanted to wrap this video up with a Bible verse. And of course, you're like, you said you're going to prove the existence of God without the Bible. And we went through those 3 points, but I still want to throw it in here at the end. So Romans 1:20 says, "For his invisible attributes, that is, his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly seen since the creation of the world, being understood through what he has made. As a result, people are without excuse." And I just wanted to add that because it just clearly states what we're talking about how, like, for his invisible attributes, everything about him can be seen since the creation of the world and by the creation of the world, and understood through what he has made. Us, the world, animals, everything, the universe. So as a result, people are without excuse. And I wanted to end on that note just to re-emphasize the points that were previously made. And I just wanted to put out there, if you have any questions, you can comment, direct message me, anything if you want, if you have a certain topic that you want to talk about in future weeks, or if you just have a question on what we previously talked about or a previous video, we could go more in depth on certain topics if you want. And also just remember that Apologetics Friday is for apologetics, but also if you have a certain question on a topic of Christianity, that's totally fine too. We can look into that. There's so many things that we can talk about and just so many cool things out there. So I wanted to say all of that. I am so glad that you watched this video, and I hope that it was very helpful, and I hope that you guys have an amazing weekend, and I will see you next Friday.